Good morning, Church on the Ridge. It's Wednesday, and I know God is going to bless you today. My dad was a guy who loved to cut corners. He always wanted to find a way to, maybe swindle a guy out of a buck. His dad was in jail. I remember a time he rented a truck, and the truck was rented to follow the odometer, how many miles you use the truck. So gets the truck out of the lot, pulls over, reaches underneath the dash, and he unscrews the speedometer. And the speedometer turned the odometer that told you how many miles. So must have drove that truck, 100 miles. We were delivering oranges, delivering other stuff, and delivered that thing. And he brings it back, and just before we get there, reaches back underneath, screws that thing back on, pulls it into the rental place, and the guy, checks the odometer. Oh, okay. And then he goes over to the hubcap, pops the hubcap off, and on the hubcap was a separate odometer that followed the wheel around and kept track of the miles. And so he writes that number down, and he charges. And my dad sat there and had to pay the bill, couldn't say anything. They both knew. And I watched that, and I always, watch my dad and go, he's always trying to, and it gave me that uneasy feeling. Never gave me that feeling of comfort that, wow, I'm safe with my dad. Boy, everything's going to be okay with my dad. I always had that uneasy feeling. And when I came to faith, I recognized, that thing is in me. And I have this opportunity to pass it on to my kids. Well, today's proverb says this: the righteous person lives a life of integrity. So somebody right lives a life of integrity, okay? But I love this part. Happy are his children who follow him. You want to have happy kids? You want to have kids that want to follow you, that want to be like you? Well, live a life of integrity. Stop trying to shade. Stop trying to cut the corners. Stop trying to do those things and watch what happens. Try it today. If you're a person who's always trying to look for the angle, look for the deal, say, today I'm going to live right. I'm going to do the right thing in everything I do. And your kids will see it. The people around you will see it. And you'll make them happy. They'll want to follow you. Father, I thank you that you sent a son that we can follow, and you lived a life in integrity, and that we can be happy in following you. I pray that we would pass that on to our kids and our grandkids. The people around us would see it, Lord, and they'd never have that sense of insecurity, that sense of fear. But God, we would have that stability, that we are fully connected and fully devoted to a God who lives a righteous life, who is a righteous God, and allows us to live a righteous life, gives us the power to live a righteous life. Let that happen for us today, in Jesus' name. Hey, I look forward to seeing you tonight at our live event where I'm going to talk about end times. I hope you'll join us 7 o'clock on Facebook Live. And walk out today. No more cutting the corners. Love you guys. See you tonight.